Okay, welcome to day 8. And today we're going to take a little break and move on. Um, what I want to do is check in with you today to see how you're doing and find out how you're doing. I know I can't personally check on you, but I want you to check on yourself. Remember, the unexamined life is not worth living, is Socrates. But what's the point of this one? Well, I want to warn you about some things when it's doing that when you're doing your credit repair because the task can be daunting and it can be exhausting. I probably should have given this presentation on the first one, but I think if you've made it to this far, you may be overwhelmed or you might be feeling good about yourself. But I want to talk about a couple of things here. The first thing, okay, that I would love to talk about with you is how, you know, how you're doing. But first, give yourself a break. And what I mean by this is don't beat yourself up over your credit score. I know that you may have a lot of inquiries. I know you might have a bad history and you're trying to fix it. And I know you probably feel like giving up. And it's just like working out. It's just like anything else that's difficult. You get to that point where why even bother? I'll just continue living my life the way I'm living it, paycheck to paycheck. I don't know what the whole point of this is. Well, the point of it is financial freedom. And don't beat yourself up. Don't look back to the past. There's nothing you could have done there's nothing you can do now about your past. So there's no use even worrying about it. You need to forge ahead, look forward, and continue to move forward in correcting those mistakes in the past. And don't get down on yourself and don't think, well, if I would have done this or if I wouldn't have done that, that doesn't matter. It's over. You can't change the past. All you can do is work in the present. So continue to work in the present. Give yourself a break. And I don't mean by a break by taking a day off because this is your day off. This is day 8 or lesson 8 to give yourself a quick break because you probably have to gather yourself. And if you've really been diligent on here, you've been working quite a bit. And that's awesome because will pay dividends. Trust me, not only fixing your credit, but it'll pay dividends to you in the future by having lower interest rates for credit loans, allowing you to borrow more and actually to use good debt, which we'll talk about a little bit later, to build a financial freedom. Okay? What else? Don't make excuses. Okay? And listen, no matter how it happened, it could have been something medical. It could have been identity theft. It could have just been misspending of funds and not caring because you were young and you didn't, you didn't understand money or not knowing. Don't make any excuses. It doesn't matter how you've gotten here. You've gotten here and you have to get out. You really do because it's going to affect your life from here forward. It's probably affecting it now with stress and aggravation. Don't make excuses. Don't look back. Whatever happened, happened. You've gotten to this point. Now it's time to get yourself out. That's all that matters. Getting yourself out of here. And whatever the problems are, you'll get out. Okay? But don't waste time by making excuses. Well, it wasn't my fault. Well, I went through a divorce. Well, I got sick and I was in a hospital. Remember, nobody cares. I'm not trying to sound mean or aggravating, but nobody cares about the excuses. You're just justifying your behaviors. Winners don't make excuses. They present solutions, and that's what you're doing here. You've gotten all the way to this step, and I have the utmost faith in you. The rest of the steps are a lot easier from here on. You've done the hard part. It's all downhill from here. So give yourself a pat on the back. Don't worry about the excuses anymore, and let's move forward in getting yourself straightened out. All right? And so, give yourself a treat, but something that's not going to affect your credit rating. At this point, you've paid a lot of attention and you've taken a lot of time to write down some of the stuff. I don't mean go out and buy yourself something that's going to affect your credit, but give yourself some type of treat. But, um, some type of reward. It'll work even in your mind. I know personally when I would anything that I would do, I'd say, all right, if I get to here, then I will be able to go and get a treat and give myself a treat, or, take myself out to dinner, or spend my, get something that I wanted to, but I have to get to this milestone first. Do that with yourself. Figure out where you got to go, what milestone you've gotten to, and here it might have been write out all of those letters, all of those disputes. You've put all of them in. You've talked to the creditors. You're waiting for them. In the meantime, give yourself a break, give yourself a treat, and move from there. Remember, on the seventh day God rested. I'm making you rest on the sixth day. I mean, on the eighth day, you worked one day harder than God did in creating the whole earth. So give yourself a treat. And if you're not religious, well, give yourself a treat anyway. Okay, what's the next one? Work on your emotional response to debt and money. And this literally can be a big problem. And I know I've gone through it. You know what debt causes? Emotional baggage. It causes you to fight with your spouse. It causes you to fight with yourself. It makes you feel unimportant and not in control. You get down on yourself because of this. So understand the difference between the debt and the money. You need to make money. We're going to work on ways to make more money in other lessons on the website. Um, but right now, with the money that you're getting, pay down the debt, because when you have no debt, that stress, that relief off of you is unbelievable. And then you'll appreciate the money. Don't go back to old habits. Okay, and that's the biggest thing is old habits are you've linked money emotionally, which means that if you spend money, you feel good about where you spent money temporarily until that money's turned into debts on what you spent. So understand those two comparisons. Find other things that will bring your emotions up. Exercise, play some kind of game, spend time with your family, your children, other things that emotionally will make you happy that don't involve money. And there's all types of stuff. You can go on a website and look at all the different types of articles and lists on this stuff. So understand there is an emotional response. To money and debt, and that debt itself is causing you probably to go through a lot of emotions while you're going through this plan. You want to give up? It's like anything. If you've ever worked out real hard, right when you start working out, you feel like giving up. A lot of times people do, and they stop. I hope that you've made it this far. If you have made it this far, it's easy to make it the rest of the way. You've literally climbed the highest point in the mountain. It's all a downhill descent from here. I know it's 30 days. But the other uh, things that are on this are not as difficult as what you've already gone through, with the exception maybe of our next lesson where you're going to negotiate debt, but I think of that as fun. You got nothing to lose now if you have bad credit, so negotiating the debt can actually be kind of fun for you, and plus it'll be a learning experience. But we'll move from there, okay? So another thing, get help if you need it. If your credit's so bad and your debt is so bad, you need to seek professional advice. And I'm not saying warrant any type of my services. All my services are free here, but look for a professional and be careful. Don't use any companies that are going to promise to fix your credit, or even if they're profit or non for profit, most of them aren't going to do anything for you. So be very careful on who you're looking at. What you want to do is find a certified public accountant, a good one. Okay, maybe even an attorney if you're looking, if you're so far to get to bankruptcy that there's no other way out, which I hate to see you do, but sometimes that's the only way out. But if you get help if you need it. And I mean, even if it's emotional help from other people. Okay? Don't be too proud to get help. And the last thing, keep at it. Don't give up now. Keep moving forward. You can get through this. All right? And I have the utmost faith in you that you can. So I know you can get through it. This is a little pep talk here. I don't know how good I am at the motivational speaking and a pep talk, but you've gotten this far. You've really gotten through the hardest part. And I'm so proud if you have gotten to this step with you. And really, when you see the results and you see your credit score starting to go up, it's going to be the energy. It's going to get you excited, and you're going to want to do more and more and more. You're going to come back. You're going to take the debt lesson class. You're going to learn how to control your finances, and you're truly going to get financial freedom. It doesn't mean that you're going to make yourself a millionaire. Millionaire doesn't mean you're financially free. There's people that are make millions of dollars and they're broke because they spend more than they make. But financial freedom is going to take the debt burden away from you, and it's going to build your credit so that if you do need to get debt, it's positive debt and it's going to be helpful to you. Okay, so hopefully this is giving you a little spark. I know you can do it. I know you can get through it, and just keep at it. You'll be doing great, and I will see you tomorrow. Take the night off, go do something that you'll enjoy, treat yourself to something, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next lesson. Thanks again.